hold on. That's probably Justin texting me saying, start the live stream. Okay, that was him saying, start the live stream. Okay, so I'm sorry, what was your, refresh me?
So, yeah, I was just talking about bringing the seller into the process of finding the tenant buyer.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, we have in Justin's group, and there's a number of different things you do. Now, a lot of people are having the most success right now in marketplace, Facebook marketplace. You go in there and you do a solid ad. In your ad, you want to make sure that you let them know that a deposit is going to be required and that they will be looking at ownership, not rental type scenario, but you have to word it in a particular way. And we have a complete different training. Even if you go on YouTube and look up Justin's channel, you'll see that he has some training there on different processes that you can use and what kind of wording to do. He even has one video where he walks through exactly and does an ad for you.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if you need some help with that, and you always can reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, you guys. So we got some more role players in the house. Anybody else want to jump on it? Let's go now. Don't be shy. Michael already done broke the ice.
Michael.
All right. I'm sorry. Who's that?
He wants to role play.
Who?
Steve.
Who? Me?
Zabo.
Zobro?
Oh, Steve Zobro.
I'll role play. I can be a buyer seller. It's fine.
All right. We need a partner. We need a partner for Steve.
Ed, you want to do anything?
Come on, you guys. Don't be shy. You cowards. You cowards. No, I'm kidding.
I'm not no coward.
Let's go. I was doing something. That's all. Okay.
I'm not no coward.
Okay, Philip. We'll have you jump in next. Okay.
I'm starting to stop at a store right now, so okay.
Okay. Well, why don't we wait until you get settled in, and then we can hit you up. Let us know when you're available.
All right. I'm listening in.
All right, thanks, buddy. All right, so Ed and Steve, let's go ahead and you guys need a scenario, or you gonna work it out as you go?
Ed, you want to be the buyer or seller?
Either one, it don't matter. I'd rather be the whatever you don't want to be, I be.
That's a true gut method.
All right, Ed. So you be the seller, Steve, you be the buyer. Okay, now Ed, are you gonna create this scenario along the way, or should I give it to you up front so you kind of know what you're working with?
I create it as I go, man.
Sounds good. You the man. You in charge.
Right.
Okay, so I'll start. I got this piece of paper. I got a phone number. I see there's these taxes that are delinquent right here. I just want to. You have paid your taxes, haven't you, on your property?
And what now?
Okay, so I see this piece of paper. Is your name Ed? I see this piece of paper with an address of 123 Main Street about some taxes. Do you owe some tax on your property?
No, I don't think so.
You don't? Okay. Is this Ed?
Yeah, this is Ed.
Okay. Is it okay to call you Ed?
That's fine. Ed's fine.
Awesome, man. So Ed, do you mind if I ask some quick questions, and you can ask me some questions? And if you don't like my questions, would you please fire me today?
That sounds good.
Awesome, man. My goal, Ed, is to find some ideas and solutions to help you. I want to make a decision on purchasing a property today. Are you okay with that?
So you purchasing some property today?
Yeah, I want to make a decision on purchasing a property today. Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being urgent, would you be like a 2 or 3? You're not a 2 or 3, are you?
What's a 2 or 3?
As far as motivation.
Well, I don't know how you consider it, if I'm motivated or not, but I listed it for sale, so I guess my motivation factor out. I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem.
What do you mean?
No problem. So you do own that house though on 123 Main Street, correct?
Yeah, I own a house on 113 Main Street.
Okay. So tell me a little bit as far as, I mean, I see that, like I said, I see that you're behind on the taxes. This basically is, guys, it's going to be a treasury. This is a deed where someone's behind on their taxes. Okay. And they're either going to try to either maybe sell their property or, so basically, so you're behind on your taxes right now. So tell me a little bit about the property. What's going on? Why are you behind your taxes?
Well, I do have a house at 123 Main Street. I don't know how you found out I'm behind on taxes. I'm not behind on taxes on it. I did list it for sale because I had a tenant in it, and the tenant, I had it rented for about 5 years. I owned the house for about 10 years. I had it rented for about 5 years, and I had some tenants in it, but they moved out. They people that was in it, they moved out. So I just listed it for sale. But
Okay,
as
so-
far as the taxes being behind, my taxes ain't behind on it.
Okay, so I must have some bad information. So you're not behind on taxes, so you just listed it for sale. Okay. Is it okay to talk about money a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so tell me a little bit. Do you have an idea as far as would you like to sell it for?
Well, the house itself, I think is worth about maybe 250, 260. I was trying to get 200.
Okay, so you said 250, and you're trying to get 200?
Right.
Okay, and then you owe about how much on it?
I don't owe anything on it. It's free. I own it free and clear.
Free and clear. Okay, no problem. So I'm gonna write that down. So a couple ways we can do this. I can actually make a proposal to you. If I was to propose, let's say full cash, full offer, would you give me some little leeway in regards to it? Would you be able to look at a full cash offer?
Yeah, I would consider a full cash offer.
Okay. Okay. Are you familiar with like basically the lottery? Let's say, let's imagine you won the lottery. Let's imagine that you won a $200,000 lottery. And if you won the $200,000 lottery, would you take your payments over 20 years, or would you want the cash up front?
Oh, I have to have my cash up front.
Okay, so you know if you have your cash up front, there's going to be a little bit of a discount, Bob. You're aware of that, right?
Oh yeah, I'm aware of that.
Okay, good. So, okay. So are you open to, so I guess the key is, you're open to a cash offer? So if I give you a cash offer, you know there's gonna be a little bit of discount, right?
Well, if I won a lottery, that's money I ain't had already. This our money I already got. That's why I wouldn't take a discount on it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so, all right. So what about, had you ever thought about doing any type of terms on the property where I can offer you full cash or full terms for the property? Would you be open to that?
I'm not quite sure what you're saying.
Okay, so if I was to offer you 200,000, for the property, would you be open to, let's say, seller financing?
Seller financing. Seller. Explain that, because I mean I'm kind of confused. Would you say seller financing? All I want to do is see, I'm dumbfounded. I usually just buy a house, and then when I get through with it, I sell it.
Okay. So
I'm not in. I don't buy a house. That's what I don't do for a living. Just a house I had when I bought another house. I was in between two houses, so this is a house I had, so I rented it out. But now I don't want to rent it no more. I just want to sell it.
Okay. So and you're saying you want 200,000 cash for it, right?
Right. I wanted $200,000 cash. It's worth 260.
Okay. How did you come up with that number?
Well, about a year ago, I had the house appraised because I was thinking about selling it, but I got the people that was in it saying they were going to stay. So when I got it appraised, it appraised for 230, 235 or something like that. But I updated a few things in the house since then, and I'm guessing it's about 260 now. I know for sure it's worth 230.
Okay. So would you be open to, if I was able to propose to you $200,000? I mean, would you be open to, how much money would you like down, or would you just want all cash?
Well, I would like to get all cash.
Okay. So you're not even open to any type of, okay.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm open to other opportunities, but I would like to get all cash. That's my main goal, to get all cash.
Okay. Yeah, like I mentioned, if it was all
But
cash,
if you could do something that can satisfy me, maybe we can work something out. What you got in mind?
well, I'm just okay. If we did go with seller financing, which basically means you'd be the bank, you'd be carrying the payments, I'd be making payments to you. how much money would you need down on this? Is your down payment?
Let's make it easy on you, man. Okay, so if I was to do something like that, because since I own it, maybe they can give me about maybe 15,000 down. Give me about, I say about 15,000 down.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying 15,000 down. And you want 200,000? Is that right?
Correct, 200,000.
Before this conversation is over, do you want me to tell you the truth, or do you want to make you feel good about your property?
I'm a truthful kind of guy, so.
Tell you the truth. Okay. From what I saw in the area, we're looking at probably the comps are right around between 180 to basically 190. I think 200,000 might be stretching a little bit. If I was able to work out something where we gave you, let's say, $10,000 down and did a $190,000 sale, would you be interested in that?
Come again, say that again. I didn't catch that.
Okay. So if I was able to work out a proposal for $190,000 with $10,000 down, let's say over 30-year AM over, let's say 3 years with a balloon payment, would you agree to something like that?
Okay, guys, let me kind of jump in here a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
So I put the conversation tracker sort of on the screen for you guys to kind of work with, so you can kind of get through the 3 stages of the conversation: the agenda, the qualification, and the closing. So I'm going to stop the share for a second. I want to go back a little bit, Steve, into the conversation. So the first thing that I noticed is that you're kind of using industry jargon with the guy who's selling a property. So at this point right now, I'm kind of getting the sense that that Ed, even though he is in the industry, there's a certain level of confusion. So when there's a certain level of confusion, you're getting further and further away from agreement and being able to close your deal. So when you say things like, you know, a 30-year AM, we might know what that is, but I guarantee you that 90% of the people who you're going to be talking to are going to find that a little bit challenging. So try to stay within, you know, simpler terms and you know, simple things that he can understand. Okay, look, so you got it, you want 200,000. Now it looks like you've already made a discount on that because you say it's worth 260. Now you got it appraised a little while ago, you did some improvements, so that's not completely unreasonable. I'll have to check that, but okay, let's say it's worth 260. Now if I can give you, you know, $10,000 and, you know, we can work out the rest, you know, do we have a deal? So that, and then you can kind of get back to the amortization and the payment type and all of that. Or you could just simply ask him something like, what would you need your payments to be on a monthly basis for us to go ahead and ink this right now? Oh yeah, well, I don't know if I can do that because, you know what I'm saying? And then kind of bring him back. But you definitely, one of the things that I've found personally is industry jargon is a killer. I don't know if you remember the conversation I had with Harvard in terms of that. He's the insurance guy, and he was using a bunch of industry jargon, and we were basically, everybody was kind of lost as to what direction he was going in. So if I'm you, I'm just kind of, you know, just kind of back up off of that and move him towards your close. We didn't set the stage in terms of the tax thing. So I love the way you kind of, you know, came back from that and sort of, you know, say, oh, okay, maybe I got the wrong information or whatever. And you sort of, you know, started moving them right back in the direction. So great job on that. But that's all I'm going to say. You guys, you know, back to the role play, but definitely want to avoid any industry jargon with your borrowers because it's going to basically cost you time and effort in order to try to explain it to them now.
Yeah. So basically keep it more simple, simpler.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
simplify it. Yeah,
Okay.
just simplify
You
it.
know what? I mean, I'm gonna go back to the role play in a minute, but well, Victor, what I was thinking when you said role play, see, when we first started, Michael was having a problem with somebody coming with him about money.
Okay.
So I was thinking with role play, I don't want to make it hard. I just want to have a conversation, and then I want to dip in with what he had a problem with the money.
With the money.
Role play
Okay.
on that.
Oh, okay.
And everybody keep on going around and around because we keep on going back to the same thing, right?
Right.
Okay, so yeah, all right, so you can play that when we get to that spot. I don't know if we necessarily have an agenda in terms of what we're doing, but I like where you're going with it. So when we get there, you can sort of inject it and kind of work it the way that you feel, or a challenge that you yourself have had while you're on the phones that you might maybe want to get some more coaching, insight, conversation about.
Right.
Let's
Okay.
go back.
But that's why I kept on picking. I need cash. That's what
Okay.
Mike was saying earlier. I need
Okay,
cash.
so that's what's coming.
I want to do a deal. I need cash. So what objection do you handle that with?
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
and I probably should have said this conversation's over right now, because I mean, that's why I try to bring this stuff in regards to, if you won the lottery, and try to make it a little social proof. This is usually what people do is when they win the lottery, they take the money up front, and you say, no, I need the money like now. I'd rather have the money.
Right.
So
Because I
that's
was
why I
trying to get to the money objective.
Yeah. So let's maybe replay it again. Okay, basically let's go to
Back on the role play.
just to the money part, then we can go time commitment. If not, then maybe we'll say it's over. It's not going to work. So okay. So let me. Okay. So what you're saying, Edward, you're looking at you elected $200,000 cash. I'm looking at probably 190,000. Would you be open to 190,000 with possibly $10,000 down, with paying it off in about 3 years? Are you open to something like that? On terms.
Yeah, I mean that sounds good, but but I need that 15,000 cash.
Okay.
Up front.
Okay.
Now I'm willing to do a creative deal, but I got to have that 15,000 up front.
Is there a reason why you need the 15,000 up front? Can you help me to understand
that? Just some personal things I need to take care of, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to sell the property, because I needed 15,000 up front.
Yeah, how it's going to work, man? Because I'm looking at probably. Just suppose I was able to work it out where I would have $5,000 up front now, $5,000 in another 60 days, another $5,000 in another 60 days after that. Would you be open to something like that?
That sounds good, but what I need it for, I got to have 15,000.
Yeah. It's not going to work, man. Yeah, I guess, I appreciate it, man. I do thank Edward for the great time. Thank you for our conversation. It looks like you got a nice little property there, but I'm not going to be able to help you out, man. I think it's over, man. So I'm gonna have to probably have to go. So is this conversation over, or do you want me to move forward?
Well, I guess so. If I can't get 15,000, I'm gonna just have to keep it on the market and see what I can do. You can check back with me.
Thanks, man. Yeah, do you mind if I just get your email address, maybe your address, send you a little gift, maybe a gift to Starbucks for, $15-20. You mind giving me like your little address and an email so I can send you something just for our conversation?
All right. moneyneeded@gmail.com.
Sounds good, man. Hey, thanks a lot. God bless you, man. Appreciate the time.
All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, so great job, you guys. Great role play, and that's the way it goes sometimes.
Right.
So just so you guys know, Claude Diamond is in the house. So you guys all, the pressure's on now. You better show up. Hey,
Hi,
Claude,
guys.
thank you so much for joining us, man. This is an amazing pleasure. Definitely love having you here, and we appreciate all the training and everything that you've given me and everyone else to make it possible, my friend.
Well, thanks for inviting me. I was listening to that role play. That was great.
Yeah, we've been trying to hit up. We've had a situation. A lot of I need more money. I need more money seems to be like a common theme that seems to be going on right now.
Right.
So maybe you can kind of help us out with that a little bit, where, somebody is like, yeah, like Ed was just doing the $15,000 down, and Steve decided, to just let him go.
Well, there was nothing there unless Steve wanted to pay cash or something. I'll take a shot at it. I didn't mean to interrupt your flow here or anything.
Oh, no, definitely not interrupting.
Was that Edward in the role play there?
Yeah. That was me.
Edward, what do you need from me in order for us to do a deal today?
Well, I need that 15,000. I gotta have that 15,000 down.
Okay, and why 15,000? I'm just curious. Help me out.
Well, like I was saying earlier, I don't know you like you, my brother, but it's a personal reason. I gotta have 15,000. If I don't have 15,000,
I'm just a brother from a different. I'm just a brother from a different mother, man.
Yeah, but I gotta have 15,000. It's personal. That's all it is.
Oh, okay. So if you had the 15,000, what would happen next? If I could write you a check today for 15.
We'd have a deal. I'd take the $15,000 and I'd do whatever creative deal you got going on.
Oh, any creative deal. Okay. Let me ask you that 15,000. We couldn't break it apart. 5,000 today, 5,000 in 6 months, and another 5,000 in 12 months. We couldn't break that.
I need that 15,000.
I got you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even asked on that. Okay. Off the role play. Is this a deal worth 15,000? I mean, is it, am I going to make a lot more money if I can get the 15?
We were looking at a free and clear house worth his estimated 260, and he wants $200,000 cash. So he's already discounted at 60,000, and he wants 15 of it up front.
Okay, back in the role play. Edward, I'll tell you what, if I send you a contract today and you get your $15,000 by August 15th, can we do it? Can we do a contract today?
Sure.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to send you a contract today. You look it over, talk to your better half, and let's meet at 4:30.
I know better half, just me.
Okay, a single guy. All right. I got a girl for you, by the way. I'll tell you what. I'll send you the contract. We'll meet at 4:30. If you can get it back to me before 4:30, that's great. And I want to take you and anybody you'd like out to dinner once we get this whole deal done. But you'll get the 15,000 on or before August the 15th. Is that a deal? Is that a deal?
I get the 15,000 now, but what's the other stipulations after that? When do I get the balance of the rest of the money?
When would you like? Let's say what's good for you? How many years before you get the balance?
Well, I'd like to get it as soon as possible. That's why I was selling cash.
Oh,
but
okay.
you creating the deal, so I'm saying you give me the 15,000, you create the deal. What terms are we having after that?
Okay, because you said before we could do any creative deal, and since I'd like to ask you, could you hold the rest of your equity? How about $1,000 a month? Could you imagine $1,000 a month check for the next 36 months, principal only payments, and then a balloon on the 37th month for the rest of your money? How do you feel about it? Can we do that?
That sounds good, Mr. Diamond. That sounds good.
Sounds good means.
That means that we can do a deal. We got a win-win situation. Let's go. Send me the contract.
Is that yes? I'm sorry. My hearing aid fell out again. What?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Okay, we did off the role play. I did a deal. What's the next thing I have to do so I go to the bank today?
Well, you have to put the numbers together and make sure that it actually works. And you have to find a buyer that's willing to put down the amount of money that's going to allow you to pay him and put some money in your pocket at the same time.
Hello, Victor. Ring, ring. Hello, Victor.
Yep, this is Victor.
Victor, Claude Diamond here. You wouldn't want to make about 50,000 bucks today, would you?
I would.
I got a deal. I just did it with Edward. Beautiful house worth 260, 265. Got it under an owner finance contract. You can move in and enjoy the house, or you can take it as an investment property. Do you have I need $15,000. I need $15,000 to give Edward, and I need $10,000 for my pocket. That's $25,000, so you can make a gross 60.
You know what? That sounds good. I'm okay. Let's do it.
That easy. If it was only that easy.
Right. I understand it wasn't that easy, but 25 makes 60. I mean, we'll obviously have to talk about some more details, but you already got my attention. We're already in the ballpark.
You said the best thing. I already got your attention.
Mhm.
Bottom
That's
line,
that's
I
a
need-
$35,000 up a jump, ain't it?
well, the thing is, I need 15,000 for you, Edward. So no matter what, I got to get that $15,000. Then I need to make a profit. So I'm going to sell the contract, let's say for 10,000 assignment fee. Okay. Bottom line, the 15 applies to the purchase price. The 10,000 is my assignment fee, my fee for putting the deal and selling it. Maybe Victor has the extra 10,000, 20 total of 25. Maybe he wants to give me 1,000 a month for 10 months. Do I mind doing a note?
Nope.
Did I just create $10,000 of value?
Yes, you
That's
did.
it. Yeah. Did you remember?
So
James
that's two notes
Dunwood-
in one deal, right?
What's that?
So that's two notes in one deal, right?
One note. Well, one note to you, yeah, if you'd like, one contract with you and a note for $1,000 a month. Notice I said principal only, by the way.
Yes, that was key.
Did anyone pick that up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a sneaky. What happens in 36 months to the purchase price?
It's reduced by the amount of payments that you made.
Yes. Yes. So now I have another selling benefit to Victor. When I sell him, Victor, all your money, whether you live in it or whether you sandwich lease it or rent it to somebody, all that money creates equity for you. So now not only do you have a property 60,000 under market gross, but you got another 35,000 accumulated pay down on the principal.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got to see, we've got to create something. And I gave myself 30 days time with Edward. I needed 30 days. And was it a good enough deal to either sell to a family that wants to live in the home, okay, who has $15,000, or can I sell it to another investor and create value for him and make money, 10,000 also?
Yeah, you have options.
Yeah. It's hard. You got to be very creative in these deals sometimes, don't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were thinking well ahead, and you already sort of figured out that you could piece this together and benefit someone on the back end just as easily as you were benefiting Ed and yourself on the front end.
The minute you told me it was a 260 property for 200,000, the only thing I had to do was solve Edward's problem. That 15,000 was not negotiable.
Right.
So if I could solve that problem, so if I go to a family that needs a home with owner financing and they have 15,000, problem solved. If I go to an investor like yourself, I've got a great deal to sell with owner financing. And then somewhere in the middle, I have to figure out how do I get my 10, 12, 15,000 profit.
Yeah.
We're literally problem solvers. We're creative problem solvers, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yes, we
I didn't
are.
mean to take over this meeting, by the way. I'm sorry.
Are you kidding? I don't think you're going to hear one complaint from anyone on this meeting about you taking over, my friend.
I don't know. David Skulnick is giving me the stink eye there. No, we talked this morning. David's an old friend.
Okay. All right,
But-
guys. Well, thank you so much, Claude. We really appreciate you jumping in and sharing your time with us. I know you're busy making money.
Well, I just came in from a 6-mile run so I can stay young and beautiful for you people. But now I do have to go. So thank you for letting me jump in here. And this was fun. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Claude. I appreciate it.
I'll see you guys later. Keep doing, this is great. I really endorse this. I think this is a round of applause for Victor for setting this up.
Thank you, guys.
I think this is really wonderful what you're doing, Vic. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
See you guys later. Where's the pizza and beer, by the way? That's why I came here.
Yeah, we were thinking that's going to be on the afternoon set.
Okay.
Session. Yeah.
Take care, guys.
All right. Bye-bye now.
That was great.
Oh my God. So yeah, he takes the whole game to a whole new level, right?
Right. Now,
Right.
that solved that issue about the money.
Yeah. So what I got the most from there, and you guys can chime in, but even when it comes to the down payment, sometimes we forget that we can negotiate how we're going to make that down payment. Now, he did want it up front. Now, you notice how Claude lit up, and actually I did too. When you said it was worth 260 and it was already discounted to 200,
Right.
I figured I could sell that deal. Like I could sell that deal. Like I didn't have to look at the percentages per se. I knew that I had $60,000 worth of equity to play with. Right? If you know that up front, Man, all you got to do is verify those numbers after the fact, right? But if you know that up front, you got some room.
Well,
I got a question about that.
What I was trying to do in the scenario, I was trying to create a scenario where he had a large amount of equity, but I needed cash up front.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I needed that cash. That's why I kept on trying to go back to what Michael was talking about earlier. I needed.
Yeah.
Because most of the people you talk to, they say, "Well, I didn't create it. I got to have cash up front." So,
Yeah. Yeah. Philip, you had a question?
Yeah, but yeah, I had a question. My question was, what about the repairs for the house? It was a brand new house?
Wasn't a brand new house, but it was in good shape. He had done some things. He had got it appraised
about
a year ago and had made improvements since then. He got it appraised at 235. So there's at least 35,000 plus the improvements that he made. He spelled that out in the role play.
right. It had no issues. Like I say, I had a tenant in it. They was moving out because they, like I said, they had issues. They had to move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Man, that was pretty amazing. I'm excited. I can't believe Claude jumped in here on that like that.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good. And you got to work with him directly, Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Steve, he kind of opened up some possibilities, right, in terms of what you would have been able to do potentially with that deal, rather than just letting it go. Yeah, there was definitely some room there. There was definitely some room there. See, you already had 60K in the bag.
Right.
And
I think that's what really gets me with like I gave him, because I'm so tuned in trying to listen to what the seller's saying. I mishear about the money and stuff, so I can. That's why you saying get you a tab and jot it down. So you say, well, you got 60,000 in equity, and you selling for 2,000. Man, I give you 20,000 now.
Yeah. Okay.
Do that 15,000 have to be done right then and there, or you can wait 30 days?
Right then and there. As soon as you write up the contract.
That's what he needed. He needed that 30,000, and he needed it right away. And that was ultimately the deal. But it wasn't so much right away. He gave him 30 days, and that's what Claude negotiated in his. I'll get it to you. Give me 15 days to August 15th, and that's where he closed it up.
But didn't he accept?
Right, because it was 15,000 at once. It wasn't a time frame. It was 15,000. I needed 15,000.
15,000, and he was willing to wait the 30 days for the 15 grand, because Claude now needs to take that deal and sell it.
Right.
And extract 15,000 from the buyer.
But I thought, didn't you accept $1,000 a month for 36 months with principal only? And then
not for the 15. The 15 is up front. The payments on the mortgage, on the balance of his equity, because remember, it's free and clear.
Oh, okay. So that would be $1,000 a month. Okay.
$1,000 a month, and it's principal only payments. So he negotiated a 0 interest loan.
Gotcha.
So that means that $1,000 a month is going to go to pay down. So in 36 months, he's $36,000 less on the sales price.
Plus the 15,000 that was given to him, right? Because 15,000 down.
Yeah, the 15,000 plus another 36. Exactly.
So almost
exactly.
Almost $50,000. Okay.
Almost $50,000 by the time it comes time to close this deal.
So in 3 years, there would be $150,000 owed on the property. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to sell it, right, would you do 36 months interest only to a end buyer?
If you did an interest only loan, now.
No, towards the buyer.
So here's the deal for Ed. Ed, if I'm you, Ed, my answer is yes immediately, right? Because now that means two things. One is there's an interest that's been applied, right? And you're getting those interest payments. Guess what's happening if it's interest only? There's no reduction in the principal balance.
Right.
So at the end of that time, the balance owed is going to be the same.
Full amount.
The full amount. Yeah. So as an investor, that is not something you want to negotiate.
No, principal only.
Yeah. You principal only is your go-to move. You never want to start having a conversation about interest only payments. Granted, in your mind, it's like, well, that's lower payments, right? But it doesn't reduce the principal balance one iota. And now at the end of that time, you still owe exactly the same thing, but you've been making payments.
Right.
As an investor, not the best move. As a homeowner, I love it.
Yeah, I know you do.
As a homeowner, yeah, I'll take that all day, every day. Give me interest-only payments. Because at the end, my principal balance is going to be the same and you're going to still owe me that money.
Mm-hmm.
All
Cause I
right.
had a seller like that too. His house is he wanted 250 for it, but he needed $100,000 worth of work needs to be done to it. And it's free and clear. And he want nothing but cash. He want nothing else, nothing creative,
He wanted
nothing.
he wanted the whole 250 cash.
Yeah, 250 cash.
And
And it needed $100,000 in work.
Yes.
What was the ARV?
Around 330 to 350.
Okay, so there's no deal.
I told him that.
Yeah.
I offered because I offered the seller 150. I offered 150 because since I had to put all the rehab and all that stuff in there. So he said, nah, that's not gonna work because I paid more for it. So I asked him, I said, would you hold that? If you want 250, would you willing to hold the note? Like, I owe you in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, I want all cash. I want all cash. I'm like, okay, this not going nowhere.
So what would you do? So what would you do with a seller like that?
Huh?
What would you do with a seller like that?
Follow up with him until he changes his mind, because nobody in the world not gonna pay for that.
Somebody might, if they don't know what they're doing, or they're just flush with cash. It could possibly happen. But yeah, your answer is correct. It's a follow-up situation, because his motivation level today might be a 4. But who knows? Granted, it is free and clear according to what you said. So if it's free and clear, he doesn't have a bunch of expenses to go along with it, but there is physical deterioration that could take place along with potential vandalism and other things that could work negatively against his position on this property. So, there's potential that it could go bad. So you just want to follow up with this guy and, just keep pulling on his coattail until either he sells it or he changes his mind, or it gets so dilapidated that nobody wants it.
Oh, it's too late now because.
So what you're saying, you'll fire him today and follow up later, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I went inside the house because he said, well, you just go there, because I was picking up my son from his grandmother's house, and he just go by it. He said, go by it because it's only 10 minutes away from my house. I'm like, oh my God.
Uh-huh.
I can see this outside the roof.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's a deal where you have to make a command decision on that one. If it's not worth it, that's not the game that you're playing. Because understand, we're in this. For me personally, I'm in here for one of two things. I'll do some of the other strategies or so, but I'm either trying to do a pretty house deal, lease option style, and either I'm going to do a straight, wholesale type lease option that I can turn around and sell to an investor, or I'm going to do a sandwich lease option that's going to provide me with cash flow on a monthly basis. That's option number one. The option number two is going to be an ugly house deal, where similar to the one that you're doing, and I'm looking to pay 60, 70,000 of the after repair value, or 60, 70%, I should say, of the after repair value. If it doesn't fit within those parameters, then you're looking at some other options and whatnot, and it's up to you to decide whether or not you have the ability or the willingness to move, sort of your methodology around like that. For me, it's kind of, a waste of time. Some deals just aren't worth you putting in all that extra work, because while you're doing that, you could potentially be missing out on some other really good deals. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you decide what your model is, and you stay within your model. It'll make life a whole lot easier, because trying to figure it all out, you'll find yourself just sort of always in figure out mode, instead of, on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. That makes sense?
Perfect sense.
All right.
That last deal to a buy and hold person.
All right, you guys. I'm sorry, Michael, go ahead.
You said that last deal that, Ed and Steve did, you said he would sell it to a buy and hold, the one that Claude did? You said that deal to a buy and hold guy?
Yeah. Oh, you said would he sell it to a buy and hold guy? I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you on your
It's like
phone.
I saw he away from the mic or something.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I said, would you, that deal that, Claude just did, would you sell it to a buy and hold guy or just, how would you market that?
The one that Claude did with me.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, he got options. He got a couple options. He can sell it to a hold and sell guy, or he can rent it out, or he can do a couple of things with it.
Yeah, he actually does. Well, you know, he's not going to rent it out because he has to get that 15,000 out of there. Very unlikely he's going to do that. He's probably going to sell that. He's going to wholesale that deal to somebody who can come in with the money that he needs. Right. So he needs to sell that. He needs to sell that deal to an investor who's going to be able to come in with the money that he needs to satisfy Ed's $15,000 down payment request and his $10,000 fee. So you need somebody to come in with 25,000 to make this deal work the way he wants to, and that's why he gave himself 30 days.
And what
So
happened?
in actuality, all he has to do really is he can if he want to wait on it, he can rent it out to somebody and get $15,000 down payment to pay me off, and he can still wait on his.
That's an option as well. That's an option as well. If he wants to wait on his money, it's kind of at 15,000 on a $260,000. That might be a little hard to pull off though.
So what happened if he doesn't do it? What happened if he doesn't get nobody an buyer?
Then the contract expires.
There's no penalties, right?
No, you didn't put any money down.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't put any money down. So yeah, there's really nothing. There's really nothing for you no way for you to be penalized.
But I don't think, knowing Claude, I don't think he would let that deal expire because too much equity in it.
There'll be no need to. It's actually a really good deal.
Right. Even if he had to go and borrow $15,000 to keep it in place.
Yeah. The numbers that he ended up with was going to be $35,000 above the 25,000. So even if you put in 25,000, right, you'd more than double your money.
Right.
Just on the savings. So yeah, that's a good deal. That's not a hard deal to sell. You know, you find somebody, you know, with the 25,000, and 25,000 is a number that is not out the question. There's a lot of people out there with $25,000 access who would love to double it real quick. Yeah, you know, you can do that on a credit card.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, let's do another role play. Let's see, anybody want to jump in here? And let's do one. Greg, I saw you mute and unmute. I got my eye on you. I saw you.
Well, I try to be a buyer this time. Somebody want to be a seller.
Okay. Ed,
I'll be a seller. I'll be a seller.
I'm gonna try to get 2 new people in here. Okay,
I'll be a seller.
We're gonna try to get some participation. Let me try to see if I can talk somebody else into jumping in here.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be a seller.
You be a seller? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Come on, I need a buyer. Lou, Philip, Greg. Come on, Mag. I know you do. You'll play that. See, I knew
All
it.
right.
That's my man.
Let's do this. All right, guys.
Mag the magnet. There we go.
Yes.
All right. So
So I got a question. What type of buyer you want me? What kind of seller you want me to be?
why don't you be a seller with you know, about $100,000 worth of equity, $300,000 sales price, $200,000 owed on the property, vacant, Well, no, not vacant. You're in the property, but you just got a job transfer and you need to be out of there in 30 days and you really can't afford both notes.
Okay.
All right, so that's a basic groundwork.
Okay.
Did you get that, Max?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready to go, my friend?
Yep.
All right, so you're the buyer, Mac.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, is this Mr.
Name is Philip.
Philip?
Speaking. Who's calling?
Hey, Mr. Philip, how you doing? My name is Mag. I'm actually a real estate investor, and I saw your property online. And I wanted to kind of talk to you about your property. Is it still on the market? Are you still looking to sell it?
Well, I wasn't thinking about selling it. How can I help you with it though? What do you want to know about it?
Yeah, I'm actually looking to buy the property. Are you selling is it okay if I ask you a few questions and like 3 minutes of your time? And if I don't answer your questions, you can fire me. Is that fine?
Okay. Cause the way you sounding right now, I'm gonna fire you right now. You got my time. You got my interest. What's up?
So yeah, just I got a few questions. So why are you looking to sell your house?
Reason why, cause I have a double mortgage, and I can't really afford the 2 payments up like that. Cause I know my house is worth 300,000. I'm looking to sell it around. I want 250 for it.
Okay, 254. So what is it that what specifically is wrong with the house?
Well, since I'm living in it right now. I have a job transfer. I need to sell it within 30 days. Any minor repairs, I'll say about $20,000 worth of work needs to be done to it.
I see. And so it's a timing issue, right? How fast are you looking to sell?
I said 30 days.
30 days. Okay, awesome. And would you consider leasing to a strong tenant of mine for a 24 to 36 months? And if I can get you the deal, would you commit to it?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Would you consider leasing the property for one of my tenants for 24 to 36, a short-term lease?
Are you some type of realtor?
No. I have buyers and tenants that I work with.
Something like a realtor do. Is that legal?
That's totally legal. But thanks for clarifying though. So let me see. So I have it here. Okay, 30 days. You asking 254 because of a job transfer. Just want to make sure we have that. And it's a double mortgage. Okay. So with that said, would you be willing to work a little bit on the price with me?
What you looking to pay?
So I'm actually, doing some math, with the minor repairs. How's the roof on the house? HVAC?
The roof,
The roof,
and the roof is fine because it's been done 5 years ago.
right?
AVAC is good.
Okay.
What needs to be done is a sub pump in the basement. Also, what needs is an upgrade on the kitchen.
Okay, an upgrade on the kitchen. Mm-hmm.
A little bit of painting, something like that. So
it's great that you just telling me that, upgrade on the kitchen. It's something that has a little bit of work on it. So because I don't want to offend you, what's the lowest offer that you can that you can actually give me?
I just told you 250.
Okay, is that the lowest?
Okay.
How much can you stretch on that?
Let me see. What do you have in mind? Because I'm selling my price for 250 because I have $100,000 worth of equity in the house.
Right. Right. Well, within my numbers, would be a great fit around 200K.
200K.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Huh?
I'm thinking. Look, I'm thinking. Okay, I'll take you looking for 200, and I'm looking for 250. We come in the middle between the 200, 250, 225. Final offer.
Okay, I see. All right, let me see here. Let me play with the numbers a little bit. Okay. Yeah, the 50 times. Okay. Okay. To make this a deal, and
A deal for you or for me?
to make this a win-win situation, would be okay if we can commit to a 215 price, and I can close this for you. I can send you a contract this afternoon.
215.
Yeah.
Nah, cause I know we went in the middle. Cause I first offered 250. You said 200. I said let's go in the middle. 225.
Yeah. I know.
So
I think it's because of the kitchen upgrade. I'm putting to the safe side, with the numbers, but with the kitchen, anything can go. So I'm trying to figure it out the safest way, to be a win-win situation.
okay, how about this, right? Is there any way you can give me the extra $10,000 if I accept the 215?
Let me see here.
You guys are doing a fantastic job. This is exactly what it sounds like.
Okay, so all right, you know what?
I don't know.
I can have a better choice for you. How about this?
Mm-hmm.
I can do it to 20. Okay, and
220.
to 20 would be meeting you on the middle again, and then that's my last price that I
Wait,
can do for you.
wait. A middle of what? Between
Between
215?
between the $10,000 that we just talked about.
So you want to make it 220?
Yeah.
I need to go. So
That would be my final offer, by the way. I don't want to waste each other's time. But
okay.
that's all I can do for you right now.
All right. So how about this, right? Because since we went in the middle the first time, how about this? I hold a note for $5,000 to get my 225. Cause I know you offer 220. I don't have to get the 5,000 right now. I can wait on that 5,000 if I'm getting the 220 guaranteed.
So you want to hold a note of the $5,000?
Yes.
Okay. All right. If I commit to that, would you be able to sign the contract this afternoon?
I can sign it today. Look it over. Since because I'm the decision maker. Yes, I will look it over, and I will hold a note for $5,000 because I want all of my money. I don't care when I get it. I want all of it.
All right.
You getting
All right. So let me recap this for ourselves. So we're gonna hold a note of $5,000. All right. The house will be for 220, right?
Yeah.
We close in at 220, and
Okay.
I'm gonna send you the contracts to sign this afternoon.
Okay. So once you sell this house, I'm getting the extra $5,000.
Correct.
That's fine. So that would be what? How long do you think that will take?
Usually, I put it on the contract for 30 days. With an extension clause, just in case.
Okay.
All right.
And that clause of what?
It just says that if not sell I can either extend it or, take the $5,000 back
Okay, so once if I sell you this property and we do all the private, what are your plans on doing with it?
with the property.
Yes.
So with the property, my plans are either, help someone with a lease option, or I'm gonna rehab it. I'm probably gonna rehab it to actually fix it and sell it on the market.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect, man. I'm excited for this. What about you?
I need to get this house, because I need this house done with, because I had the job transfer in 30 days. So I'm a
Yeah.
little relief if you could say what you can do. If you say you can do, I'm upset because I'm a little iffy right now. Because what if it don't close and I need to leave?
I get it.
So that's why I'm not really too jumpy about it.
Right. I understand where I agree where you're coming from. Uh, but what if I'm be able to close this deal,
Then what?
earlier, and then get you out of the house earlier as well?
Okay, and then I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So let's just think that let's just go for that part, and we can figure something out. Sorry, let's just go let's just get on the contract, and then I'm gonna be working with you to close this deal as soon as possible. Okay.
Okay, we can do that.
Awesome.
Sounds fair.
All right, man. Thank you. I'll send you the contract.
All right, we'll do.
Take care.
Be looking forward.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Great job, you guys. Hey, thanks for jumping in there and putting it in. Philip, you were man, you were a tough sell, but I love where you went with that whole thing. You kind of knew what you wanted, and you didn't necessarily make it easy for them, but at the same time, you definitely let them know that there was some motivation and a time to close. And Mag, I could hear you sort of struggling your way through, going through the phases of it. That's kind of why I put this up on the screen, so that you can kind of see where you were and see where you wanted to go with it. And you eventually started to get on a cool little roll right there and started feeling comfortable in your presentation. So before I say anything else, does anybody have anything they want to add, or any opinions, critiques, anything of the role play we just did?
I know somebody got something to say.
Yeah, anybody would have done anything different?
Well, I felt hearing the conversation, it felt like Philip had more control of conversation than Mag, and we're supposed to reverse those roles. I mean, we're all working on it, but that's kind of what how I felt, that the seller, he was just plowing Mag to make a decision and to try to get that conversation under control, so you're under control. That's it.
Yeah, very, very good feedback, Philip. Yeah, and given Mag is just starting off in the process, that's really some good advice right there. At some point, and I think you understood that as you were going along, that he was taking control of the scenario. But the good thing is you stayed in there and you didn't let him, you didn't let it go. You didn't get overly flustered or whatever. And as far as the phase of development that you're in, that this is par for the course, right? You're developing the muscle, so to speak. So yeah, very good observation, but that's exactly right, folks. We want to take control of that conversation, right? And there's a number.
I wasn't easy.
No,
I wasn't easy.
Philip didn't make it easy,
No, trust me. I could have went harder than that, but I said no. I'm gonna light up on this.
I appreciate that. Yeah. You went hard.
Thank you, Philip.
You went hard enough to make him work and to build up the muscle, and that's really what we're here to do, right? We're not here to judge. We're here to build. So, you know, we appreciate where you went with that. Okay, so I have a couple of observations that I made. So as part of the 5K, right? You told him you were going to give him the 5K in 30 days. You could have.
No. He said he'd give it to me when the house sells.
Yeah, but then he came back and said that's going to be, you know, when is all this going to happen? And he said 30 days. So there was actually two conversations had at the same time. And I kind of caught that, and I was like, you know, now we may end up in a dilemma later on. The good thing is, Philip, you heard when it sells, but he committed to 30 days when the contract is agreed upon, right, or when it closes. So, you know, there was a and you can go back and listen to the replay, but I kind of picked up on that. So you definitely want to stretch out whatever time periods. You want to take the maximum time period you could possibly take on putting out your money, right? If you can do it earlier, great. Then, you know, under promise, over deliver, right? But don't lock yourself into a scenario, because
how would I so in this case I wanted to kind of be like, okay, so if needed to extend the contract or to cancel, I would just pull all my money back, you know, and then extend. What would be a good structure for that?
When you say pull your money back?
Well, the 5,000 note. Well, I wasn't gonna give anything since we didn't close, right?
That's right.
So how would I just be more proactive in telling him, look, if this doesn't close, you know, in 30 days, I can actually extend this contract.
Yeah. Now you can have that conversation right now, or you can wait to have that conversation. That conversation does not necessarily need to be had up front, because you're putting in his mind now that it may not close.
Makes sense. Okay.
Right? You're kind of he's now having another conversation about what if.
Okay.
So if you can position it so that he feels like, okay, this is a deal, and your commitment obviously is to get it closed well before the 30-day time period. You want your money as fast as possible. So I'm guessing you're getting ready to start marketing this thing immediately.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't want him having internal conversations about possibilities that don't yet exist. If you start getting to day 20 and you start seeing that there might need to be some adjustments, like I may not be able to sell it at this price. I may need to restructure the way this is all set up right now. You may then go back to him, explain those things to them, and then ask for an extension at that time.
Gotcha.
But if you start plugging in what ifs that he didn't plug in, if he plugs it in, then you address it. But you don't give it to him.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I had to say something about that. I guess I could tell he sound like a new investor. The way he came out, I was gonna eat his ass up alive.
You were grilling me, man. Don't grill me like that. I'm gonna grill you back, man.
You know, they turn around fair play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they know you can tell when a new investor comes, like how they come at it, because they going to know this is a newbie. I said, how can this person? That's why I asked this question. I said, how do I know it's going to close or not? Because you sound like you're not really too sure.
And you know what? Philip is actually making a really good point. On two recent deals that I'm negotiating, the person made the specific statement, how long have you done this? Because I don't want to be your first deal. Yeah, and people are concerned about that because it's a real estate transaction. It's not like it's over the counter.
This ain't
like they want to know that you know the terminology. They want to know that you know what the process is for an escrow to open and close. They want to know that you have some, you know, and so if you don't know these things, you at least need to know how to answer the question. You know, I hire an escrow company. These people are professionals. Their job is to be the third party administrator of all of this to make sure that both you and I are protected. And they're professionals at their job, and we're going to bring them in to make sure things go as they're supposed to go. Would that satisfy you, Mr. Seller?
Of course, it will
Okay.
satisfy me.
Perfect. Yeah, and that's how we do it. But again, going back, even if you notice what I just said, I said it with a level of confidence. So when you portray who you are as an investor to these people, even if you don't know, you say I don't know with confidence.
Mr.
Right?
Seller, like Mr. Seller, I don't know, but I can find out the answer for you.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. By the way, why did you ask that? Right, and then make him explain to you, or at least justify why he's asking these questions. Like, by the way, why did you ask that? That must be important to you. Oh yeah, well, we use an escrow company. Are you familiar with escrow? Yes, I am. Oh yeah, they're professionals. Their job is to be a third party or administrator of this, so that not one person is at risk. Would that satisfy that answer for you? Okay, great. Right. So I didn't explain what the escrow was, right? No. I didn't say anything about how the escrow worked, and they're going to sign this, and they're going to send you this, and they're going to create a HUD-1, and they're going to do a preliminary closing statement. None of that. Even though I know that that's what they're going to do, that's not what I'm going to explain to my seller. I'm going to
like, what's the HUD-1?
Professionals. I'm sorry.
He said, what's the HUD-1?
Exactly.
HUD-1.
What's a HUD-1, right? They'll know when they get the document and they see at the bottom where it says HUD-1. And then they'll be talking to the escrow officer, who will explain what a HUD-1 is to them. Right? That's not my job. My job is to tell them that we're going to put professionals in the loop. Whose job it is to protect us, especially them. Right? So that kind of takes care of itself. You know, you want to skirt having to explain a whole bunch of that stuff. It looks like we still got about 20 minutes. Who else we got on here? Anybody want to jump in? Let's get some players. Come on, you guys.
I'll go.
Come on. Who said I'll go? Who said I'll go?
David said it.
Hey, David. Thanks, buddy. All right, David's on the line. Who else we got?
I'm here, Victor. Can you hear me?
Is that Joe?
Yes, sir. I got about 10 minutes, so yeah.
Joe, you're kind of muted.
Am I?
Yeah, you sound like you're a mile away.
Is this any better?
Let's say something, Joe. Let me hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Is this any better or no?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's good. It's good enough for the role play, man.
Yeah, if you can hear me good, I'm ready. But if not, go ahead and let somebody else jump on. So.
No, we can hear you good enough, buddy. Love the fact that you're always willing to participate. Really appreciate you having you on. David, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay, all right. So, do you guys want to set a scenario, or do you guys want to play it as you go?
No, go ahead. Give me whatever one you want.
Okay, are you the buyer or the seller? Which one you want to do, David? I know Joe's good either way.
I'll be the buyer.
You be the buyer? Okay. All right. So Joe, you got a $250,000 property. It's free and clear. You inherited the property. You are a absentee owner. You don't want to necessarily have to deal with it because you've been traveling back and forth an hour and a half to take care of this property, and you're kind of tired of the whole thing. But at the same time, you're willing to do it and not not get jobbed on a transaction. So you're not a pushover. You have some motivation, but you're willing to hold on because it's an inherited property, and right now you don't necessarily have to be responsible for the payment.
I'm ready. Let's roll, David. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
All right, ring ring.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, Joe. Is this Joe?
Yeah, this is Joe. Who's this?
Hey, Joe. My name is David. I'm a local real estate investor. Do you have a minute to chat?
I got a couple minutes, David. You're not going to be one of these other guys going to try to lowball me on this property that I've been trying to sell.
Well, no, I'm not. Let me. I'll make it quick since you don't have that much time to chat. Just listen. I came
Yeah,
across
no,
your
I got a couple
property.
minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, I came across your property, and looks like it might be something that we're interested. We like to buy houses in this area, and I just wanted to call you, see if I can ask you a couple questions. You can ask me a couple questions, and if it's something that works, you let me know. If it's something that's not, you tell me, you fire me, and let me know right then and there. Does that sound okay?
Man, that sounds great. Go ahead, David. Now you say we. Who's we?
Well, me and my partners, we buy houses
Okay, you
in
got
the
some
area.
partners? Okay, gotcha. All
Yeah,
right, go ahead.
we like to buy in this area. So, can you tell me a little bit about the house? Why are you looking to sell?
Yeah, it was a relative's. They passed. I kind of inherited this house. I live about 5 hours away, and it's just a hassle getting back and forth, taking care of it. Um,
Wow,
just
I'm sorry
me,
to hear.
so it's kind of a pain.
Was it like was it like a cousin or a close family member?
It was an uncle. It was kind of a distant uncle, but he didn't have many relatives, and so he left it to me because I was nice to him once. So
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm sorry for your
that's
loss.
all right. I appreciate it.
So you're saying that you're kind of far away. How you said you're about 5 hours away?
Yeah, 5 hours, and it's like I said, it's sitting vacant right now, and I just want to be done with it, but I'm not going to give it away either. So,
Okay. Well, how much are you looking to sell it for?
well, I don't know much about real estate. I did that Zestimate thing on Zillow, and it was saying 250, and there's a couple houses that sold in the neighborhood. One was like 240, and the other was 270. So I just, they're similar, so I just did 250.
Okay. And how much do you think it's worth?
Uh, about that. I mean, it's in decent. I mean, he took good care of it. I mean, it's not beat up. I mean, there's some things that might need updating, but you can move into it and do things as you want to. It'd be great for an investor to come in. They'd probably, do a whole bunch of stuff to it and maybe get it up to 280. If possible with the right upgrades. But
How much?
it's
Let me ask you this: how much do you think it would take to get up to 2020 HDT home and garden standards now?
yeah. Like I said, you just need to update the kitchen, maybe one of the bathrooms. It's probably 12, 14,000 somewhere in that neighborhood. Like I said, I'm not one of those handyman type people or do the fix and flips. I do watch HGTV sometimes, but I would say between 10 and 15,000.
Okay. Well, how quickly are you looking to sell it? Because I'm looking to buy something pretty soon.
I was looking to sell it yesterday. So
Really?
yeah, I'm like I said, I'm one of your motivated sellers, as you hear on the show sometimes. So.
Is there anybody else that you have to talk to about selling this property, or are you the only person?
No, it's just me. My wife, she just wants me to quit going down there. So whatever we do, it's all on me. So
Okay, so if I can come up with a plan, a deal that would work for both you and I, would you be looking to get this done today?
like I said, I'll do it yesterday if I could. So what you got?
Okay.
Go ahead and make me an offer. What do you got?
All right. Well, you said it's worth about 250. So I have a couple different ways that we can buy the property. The first way is, are you hard with your 250, or are you looking for like how hard are you with the 250? Because I can offer you a cash deal.
I got a little flexibility. I mean, not much. I mean, there's no mortgage on it, so I mean, it's free and clear. But like I said, I need some looking for a retirement. It was a gift, but I'll work with you a little bit. What you
Okay.
got?
Well, typically, investors, we don't buy full retail price. So I know you said it's worth 250. It needs some work. So, at that price point, I'm not trying to insult you, but I'm somewhere in the range of around like 150 to actually 145 up to 160. If I'm going to offer
Yeah,
you
what
all
you were
cash.
trying not to do, David, is you did it. You were trying not to insult me, but you did. So
Well, that's why I said I have
can't
a
do
couple
that.
different. I have a couple different ways of buying. That's why I asked you. You know, are you hard pressed on your 250? So I just want to let you know that's one of the ways that we can typically buy it. So
No, I mean, if
how
you were
hard?
talking 235 or something like that, but 160, that's, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Like I said, it's only a
Okay.
5-hour drive a couple times a month, so I'm good.
All right. So that 250. All right. If I could get you your 250 price, would you be willing to rent it to me for a couple of months, and then I can actually pay you out that, maybe even get you a little bit more than 250, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I would, like I said, it's something we can do, but I don't want some renters in there. They're just going to tear it up. And, I know how it is. I've seen rental properties and it's just a freaking mess and I don't want to deal with it.
Well, these wouldn't be renters. These are actually people that are looking to buy the home. These aren't your typical renters. These are people that actually have verifiable income, that have good jobs, and they've qualified under our program. And if you are open to this, maybe I can actually put in our agreement that you would have first right refusal on any of the tenant buyers that I would look to put in there. Does that sound something that you'd be comfortable with?
Yeah, I think I'd consider that. I mean, you do like background checks or credit checks and stuff
Yes.
like that?
We do background, credit, and then at the end of the day, even if I approve, if the buyers actually come across, most of the time these are families that we're looking to put in, and they're hard workers. So if they pass our criteria, I can actually provide them to you. And if you like what you see, then that would be a tenant buyer that we'd look to put in there, and then they would actually be the one that would be buying your house in about 24 to 36 months, and then
Why
give
don't
you
they just buy it now? I mean, why can't they just buy it now?
because they have to build up their credit, or this is the type of homeowners that are looking. This is going to be their first purchase, so that's why they need a couple months just to be able to get their credit together to be able to close on this property.
Oh, I got you. All right, well, that makes sense. I know how it is. I'm self-employed and I tried to buy a house and I had to show tax returns, and we all know how that turns out. So
Exactly. And now
I can understand those situations.
And now with this whole pandemic, now the banks are less likely to lend to people. You have to come higher with probably a 780 to 800 credit score now. So it's you're limiting a lot of your pool of buyers. So this is where we come in with our tenants, and we can actually close on these properties.
That sounds like a good program.
Okay, so
what are you proposing? I mean, talk to me about it. I mean, I got a couple minutes and then I got to run. So.
All right, so I'll make it quick. So what's your market rents going for in the area over there?
We're right around $1,500 to $1,600 probably for 3-2.
Okay. All right, so how about this? I can probably structure something together about $1,660 a month. The tenant pays all utilities. I will make sure that the tenant would have to have renters insurance while they're in there. And in the agreement, I'll even put in that you would be the one that would have first right refusal with the tenant buyer that we'd look to place in there. How does that sound? Sound like something you'd like to do today, or probably not?
If the toilet backs up on Sunday afternoon, do I have to drive 5 hours to fix it, or call a plumber, or what happens?
Well, no. With something like that, I would in our contracts, in our agreements with the tenant buyers, they're responsible for any repairs under $500. Anything major like that, the homeowner's insurance would actually take care of it, and their renter's insurance would actually help them.
Oh, all right. Well, I can. All right, that sounds good to me.
So does that sound something you'd like to do today, or probably not?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's see. Now, are you going to send me something in writing here? I mean, you sound like a really nice guy, David, but I don't know you met him, so.
Joe, I appreciate it. Listen, I actually have a contract, and I'm going to put these items that we talked about and your concerns in it. And then what I can do is, if you give me your email address, I can actually send you a contract. And if we can get it locked up today, if you agree with everything that's on it, you take a look at it. Let me know if there's anything that needs to be changed, or you have any other concerns. Well, I'll make the additions and subtractions to our agreement, and then I can actually get this taken care of, so we can stop having you drive 5 hours out all the time to check on the property.
Well, that sounds good. All right, I tell
All
you.
right.
So let me just real quick, because I want to make sure, and I'm sure it's going to be in the contract. You're talking about an asking price of 250 to 260, or a selling price, and I'm going to get 1660 a month for the next 24 to 36 months.
Well, what's better for you, Joe? You let me know. Is 24 seem reasonable, or would you like the 3 years? Because I can do the two
I prefer
years.
20. No, let's do 24. I'd rather do the 24. So.
Oh, okay. So so what I'm gonna do is give me your email address. I'm gonna get this contract over to you in about the next hour, and then I'm gonna call you back in about 2 hours to see if there's anything else that you need to that you would like to have changed. You let me know if there's any concerns that you have.
All right, that sounds great. I appreciate it, David. I look forward to hearing your call.
All right, Joe. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, David.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All righty.
Okay, guys. That was kind of off the hook. Okay.
Yeah. I was kind of easy on David, but
yeah,
I mean,
you were easy. You kind of let David off the hook a little bit, and you kind of gave him some stuff to work with. And so, but that's exactly what we're doing. But if we go back and look over the phone conversation, you know, he did a great job. He drew the roadmap, kind of let you know where we were going. He asked the permission to ask questions, and also gave him the permission to, you know, fire him or, you know, end the conversation if in fact he wasn't speaking about anything that made sense to him, right? He found out why he was selling, you know, the distance and everything else like that. And then he went into the money pretty good as far as, you know, what it's costing you to have it, the fact that it's free and clear, how much wiggle room he had in the price and everything. When he wanted to get it done, you know, he said he needed to sell it yesterday. David, you asked him a couple of times about the timing, and he basically told you right up front, I need to sell this yesterday. So you know, when we talk to these people, you know, we want to give them a sense that we're listening to them.
Okay.
So, you know, and we kind of get nervous. I know sometimes we go back into it, but I know for me personally, and I noticed that that's kind of a theme, that nobody likes to be like asked the same question like 4 or 5 times, because you finally get to that point at which you say, I told you already, right?
Yeah.
So,
no, I
you
mean,
know,
David,
but
you were, Victor, I got to jump off here in a minute, but I do want to say, David, you were really good on the phone. I mean, you were real. I mean, you
Yep.
didn't jump into explainer mode, but your tone and everything, the tonality was really good. I mean, you know, you sounded like exactly what you were talking. You knew what you were talking about, and I felt comfortable with it. So.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. You're good, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
I know
Joe.
I was a little easy, but that was my first time as a buyer or as a seller. So.
Okay, we'll have to make sure we get you on there again.
Yeah, next time it won't be that easy. How's that?
We are forewarned, my friend. You have yourself a great rest of the day. Thanks for jumping
Victor,
in, Joe. Always appreciate your contribution, buddy.
Guys.
Thanks, Joe.
Guys,
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Hey Dave, question for you. Why'd you offer so much on the rent?
Why what?
Why'd you offer $16.50 for the rent instead of like 15?
You know what? This is just working with numbers that Victor gave me, and like, you know, 60. It's between 15 and 16. I don't want to go lower on the rent where it's like, well, you're taking advantage of me, and so maybe to sweeten the pot to get him to say, you know what, this looks like this is something that'll work for me. I own it free and clear, 1660 cash flow in a month. Who's not going to take that? If you had a house right now and you were going to get 1660 every month, wouldn't you take it?
Well, but okay, I think where he's going with that, David, is there's a conversation that comes right before that, and I totally get where you're going with the 1660, but I don't know did you ever ask him, and maybe I missed it, about what the market rents were in the area?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, and what did he say?
He said between 15 and 17, 16, I think, or. So that's why I put a little bit more in there.
Oh, okay. So strategically, do you think that's your best move, or only because you want to get the deal closed, or strategically, do you think that there might have been a little bit more flexibility there? You tell me.
You know what? if it was something where I wanted to stay in the middle, then I would have went on the lower end, and then maybe this would have been a sandwich lease option. But
Okay.
this is the first call that I'm having with him. I
Yeah.
want to get this locked up right now, and that's why I asked him a couple times about the time, and I want him to tell me multiple times. You know, I wanted to sell it yesterday, and so
Yeah.
that way, if I tell him, you know, 1660. He's thinking, wow, I'm going to get the top rent rate, and this guy's going to take care of everything else, and I'm going to have a buyer to close on it. That's why I wanted to go with it on that.
Okay. I see exactly where you were thinking on that. Yeah, Greg?
Yeah. First of all, I thought you did a great job, David.
Thank you.
I had a question. When you were talking at first about an offer, he did throw the number 235 out there. He said, you know, if you're closer to my sales price than like 235, then maybe we could talk. Now, this is just a question in my mind. Does that mean there might be some flexibility even on the lease option for that 250?
I could. I mean, 235, and he said it's 250 at the high end. So that's a what? Two. What I said? What did he? It was 235. So another $15,000 there. 235.
Yeah.
That's 10. So that's $15,000. Maybe I could have did a sandwich lease option and like make up that spread. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the answer either. Somebody that knows, tell us.
I mean, if there's $15,000 in equity, they basically, maybe you could. I don't know, Victor. Could I have set it up, the deal up where the end buyer would have had to pay me the 15 grand later on when they close on it?
Absolutely. You could have marketed it at 250.
Okay, and then I would have taken the spread at the end.
You would have taken the spread, yeah, because you were committed at 235 to him. So anything that you marketed above that 235 would have actually been money in your pocket. And,
Okay.
and given that you weren't going to stay in the middle anyway, it was the perfect opportunity to do that because you were already committing to giving him basically the entire monthly rent.
Okay.
Which the assumption is then at that point that you're not going to sandwich it because you're not trying to cash flow on it at all.
No.
You're going to give him full market rent for it.
Okay.
Right. And also I find that people who are doing rent to own lease option type deals, they understand that they're going to pay a slight premium. And if it appraises at that 250, if you can show the comparables at that 250, man, you just built 15,000 right into your pocket right there. And you could even show them 250 and give them a $5,000 discount, you know, in terms of giving them such a great deal that they can move right away, first movers advantage type thing.
Okay.
At that 5,000 and still put $10,000 in your pocket. So all in all, it was a great deal structure wise.
Okay.
Yeah, especially given that you know, like you said, you were going to give up the whole rent. You weren't trying to sandwich it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So you still have yourself a little bit of, you still have some room over there to put some money in your pocket. Very, very nice.
Now I know next time to think about that. Okay.
Yeah, very nice. Because if you're looking at the fair market, sale of that property, given its condition or whatever, you can offer it to the end buyer at a discount and still make money on this deal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks. Free and clear, right?
Yeah, house was free and clear.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, house was free and clear.
Well, I was dropped out the gate.
So all in all, man, anything that you could sell it above the actual price, even if you were to go in and say put in $3,000 on it or whatever, right, and increase the value of it, now it justifies 250, you still made 12.
Okay.
A little paint, get the carpets clean, paint and do whatever, anything like that, simple stuff. Contract work, and put in 3,000, and now it's worth 250. Really, because of the way it presents itself.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a deal. That's a good negotiation right there. One thing I did want to ask you though is you mentioned and this is something that I never mentioned. in terms of who am I going to put in your house. I never mentioned first-time home buyers. The reason being is because as a person who's dealt with first-time home buyers, they can be like the most difficult people because they are so emotional about this transaction and never done it before, right? So when I describe my renter type, always, I describe them as professionals. I describe them as people who may have challenges because of the type of work they do, self-employment. The one that you used about COVID making underwriting so difficult now, that's brilliant. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, sell the fact that these are people who under any other circumstances, they could do this. You know, but and so it kind of puts them in this category in their mind, right? Like, these are high quality individuals that we're talking about. We're not talking about renter guy who's going to barely be able to slide into a home and own it, right? Because if you own a home, you know it's not an asset, it's a liability.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you own a home, you know that if you don't keep your home up, your homes are liabilities. I don't give a damn what nobody says. They're not assets till you sell them, or until you can get a proper refinance out of it. The rest of the time, it's costing you money all the time to keep it up. So I try to sell my buyer as, high level.
Okay.
Just a thought, kind of controlling the subliminal message that you're putting into the mind of the seller.
Got it.
Yeah. Now, and it's nothing that you necessarily have to do, but it's a choice of who you describe your buyer as, right? Your tenant buyer as. Describe them as a professional.
Okay. One thing I wanted to bring up that somebody else actually put me on, the cash offer thing. When you offer cash offers, I've found a lot more people will tell you what their number is when you give them a range, so you don't lock in at a specific number, and then they'll say, "Oh no, I'm not there. I'm at least at whatever number," and then you can go from there. So that's why most of the time when I do the cash offer, I go with a range of not a specific number. How do you
determine your range?
Well, I'll do the 70% off the ARV, and then that's why I asked him, how much do you think it costs to rehab the place? Like, how much let the seller tell you how much they think it's worth. So then I'm going to subtract that off of the 70% rule, and then I'll do another maybe 10% below that, and then it's when I'll drop my range in between there.
Okay, so that number. So you range out at 60 to 70% of ARV, and
exactly.
You quote them.
And let them tie me down to a number that says, "Oh no, I'm too close to here." If I'm close enough to that number, maybe I can come up and offer them that number that they want.
Okay. So you tend to go someplace in between the 60 and the 70%, at the lower end of the 60, and give yourself that other 8, 10, 7% as wiggle room.
Yeah, like you can actually see, like in California, like what is it really 70, or is it like 75% that you're doing ARV?
Yeah, you can even do in some cases 80, 85% here, only because the numbers are so high that 85% may still give you, $150,000, $200,000 in equity.
Exactly. Same thing here in New York. It's the same thing.
Yeah. So our 75% ARV is not, as in California, we don't have to stick by that nearly as much. It's not carved in stone for us. Oftentimes we're looking at what's the equity position relative to how much it would cost you to bring this up to 2020 standards and what's left over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the costs of doing that are relatively the same nationwide. Even in California, you may have a little bit higher cost, but the stuff you price out at Home Depot, it's not that much different here than it is in, Macon, Georgia.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you have a lot more room to play with as far as the dollars go.
Well, the roof was done, right? That you did it after the. Yeah. I can't remember if it was
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that last one. My computer sort of screen restarted for some reason. What was the question or comment?
Oh, Joe just had his phone. I guess he's talking to one of his clients.
I couldn't hear you.
Let's see.
And Joe just he was just talking through his phone. I guess they had his phone on.
Oh, got it. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought I missed something. Okay. But hey, you guys, that was David, that was a great job, man. Yeah, you obviously been working on your game and stuff. And how long you been doing this?
Investing about
Yeah.
2.5 years, but cold calling and talking to sellers, maybe 7-8 months.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you definitely know what you're doing. And you know, appreciate you sharing your knowledge and stuff and being willing to participate in the role play, man. Really appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everybody's input.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, you guys, look like we actually ended up running a little bit over the 11 o'clock hour, man. I just want to thank all of you guys. Anybody have any last minute comments or, you know, requests or, you know, I'm on the ones and twos now, just kidding. But anyway, you guys got anything you want to, you know, add to the conversation? Any critiques, anything you'd like to see more of, less of, anything you want to request for next week, anything like that?
This is valuable.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, I appreciate your input all the time too, man. You're very uplifting.
Yeah, give me a few minutes and I'll call you back.
I'm sorry.
No, that's my wife. By mistake,
Oh.
she was on the phone.
Oh.
Who's that?
Right. Yeah, you might want to mute. We don't want to hear him start, you know, doing the thing with on the phone with his friends. All right, guys. Well, I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Hey, I really appreciate you. Mag, thanks for jumping in there, man, and doing your thing. Always appreciate having you on board with us. Michael Goolsby, you know what's up. David, Philip, Greg, Edward, Waylene. Waylene, I got to get you on here the next time, man. Miss you, bro. Aisha, everybody else who's on here. Who did I miss? I got next time, all right? All right. I think that's pretty much everybody that's left. Hey, you guys, thanks a lot, and we will do it again next week. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Deuces.